Hi everyone, I'm Carolina, and I'm here because if you're here with me today, it's just because you're curious about what I did to get pregnant naturally after 40. One of the things that I did was to test my hormones, did blood work. That is one of the most important things, among others, of course, that a woman has to have level to be able to conceive. If you have seen my video of my story, you know that I went to my regular OBGYN and that I visited my fertility experts and that the blood work is substantially different. Now, in between me going to my OBGYN, my regular OBGYN, and doing that basic blood work and going to the fertility expert, I had a miscarriage, traumatic event, and I didn't want to see doctors. In between that time that I didn't want to see a doctor because I was not ready, I decided to do blood work on my own. I already had what my OBGYN asked. Of course, I didn't know so many other things that the fertility expert tests, but it was a good start to know if my body was okay, especially after a miscarriage. Now, I would have done it anyways if I didn't have the miscarriage, just because I was curious. The thing was, after going to my OBGYN and doing basic blood work, that includes measuring FSH, measuring LH, measuring TSH, and some other T4, T3 that are like thyroid related hormones on specific dates or days of your cycle. Day 1, day 3, day 21, day 28. Then I decided to do that on my own. After I did that the first time with my OBGYN, I got pregnant the next month. So they said, voila, you're good. Everything is normal. But then I thought to myself, we just got them measured 1 month. What if for that month they were normal, but this is not a consistent thing? So then I decided that I wanted to do it for 2-3 months just to make sure that it was a constant. I do want to say too that today I've seen on my ads on Facebook, Instagram, that there are a lot more products out there that do measure all these hormones through pee. I am not sure, because I'm not a doctor, how accurate that is just with pee, but that is something that if I was trying to conceive right now, most likely I would try all these options. Same like I did in my time. I was just looking around to see what could I afford, and I would try that. Because this is the thing. I didn't have a lot of money at the time. I'm not rich, so I just cannot go and get IVF and stuff. I just needed to make sure that I was okay. And I didn't want to pay a doctor because I was not in a mental stage to do that, and not financially too. A miscarriage can be really, really expensive too. To make sure that it clear out, it came out, that is nothing wrong. So that kind of drained our bank account at the moment. And it was really frustrating, no baby, no money. What you were kind of wanting to spend on a baby, we spent on making sure that the baby was not inside of me. It was just really traumatic. Anyways, let's focus. So, blood work. Since I already had those basic, I decided to do that. And I went online. There are lots of ways that you don't necessarily have to go through your doctor paying their fee. Not that I'm not saying you don't have to. If that helps you, because obviously they're specialists as well, and they know how to read all these results, then just go ahead and do it. But what I did is, because I didn't want to see them, remember my mental stage at the time, I just Googled it. And there are a bunch of ways that you can get blood work without a doctor's orders per se. So you can do it through Quest, just ordering online. You can do it through LabCorp. You can get my test done. There's a bunch. After I did all of this, because I am kind of obsessed. If I'm going to get a quote, I just don't look for 2. I do like 10. and then I compare all of them. I did all that comparison, and I stayed and stick with New Century Lab. Those were the ones that at the time have the most comprehensive kind of bundles and cheaper for the specific stuff that I wanted to get. Because what I did is that I did TSH, FSH, LH, and I included one that my OBGYN didn't. It was AMH. That, according to my reading, and if you're in this journey with me, like I was at the time, you just want to know that your body is okay. You just feel like a failure, that is something wrong with your body. So you just want to make sure that everything is okay. AMH measures and kind of checks the quality of your eggs. As a woman, you are born with the eggs that you're going to have your whole life. So if you're 35, your eggs are 35 years old. And you just want to measure how good they are. So that was something that it was not ordered by my doctor, and I included it. And it was not that bad for me. It was supposedly like a 35-year-old woman. So I was 40 at the time, and I was like, woohoo, I'm not that bad. They look good. So I was happy about that. And I checked some other stuff that said were important, maybe like your vitamin D, that is important, vitamin B12. I measure all of those with the regular cycle hormones, LH, FSH, TSH, to see if the curves were constant. So I did that 3 months at a time, and I was normal. I was having consistent, peaks of the hormones that were supposed to have peaks, lowering the hormones the way they were supposed to do. That was giving me a peace of mind to know that my hormones were working right and that they were normal. Now, still no baby. And it is kind of confusing because I feel that this is the only journey that you can do everything right. You can study, you can eat well, you can take all the vitamins and still kind of fail the test. Not get the results that you studied for, that you are working so hard for. So that is why this is such a painful journey. It was certainly painful for me, even though I realized that it was not as long as some other women have been in this journey. And I feel for them. My journey was like around almost 2 years between me trying to conceive and actually getting pregnant. And even though it's not, for me, it was the longest 2 years of my life, I realized there are other women that have been trying for 10 years, 15 years, because they started young. And I can understand how painful that is. Nevertheless, if you have been in this journey just for 6 months, it is still that painful. And I feel you too. Don't feel that it's just because it's shorter, then you have not suffered. The suffering is the same. So anyways, going back to the blood work. The blood work for me in this journey was one of those key pieces that helped me kind of put the puzzle together of my sanity, of peace of mind, knowing that I was doing everything that I could do. The first thing was, of course, like taking vitamins, that I posted a video on that, what vitamins I was taking, nurture your body. If you are curious about that, then just check my videos. I have a full video on everything that I was taking. The other thing that I consider super important is blood work, just to make sure that it is okay. Once you know that your hormones are doing what they're supposed to do, then you know that you can keep moving forward. Now, I do advise, since I'm not a medical doctor, medical expert in the matter, if those ranges are off, because the test will come to you showing you the normal range, go to a doctor so that they can do further test. I found online, like I was saying, LabCorp, Quest, that is the ones that come to my mind, get tests done, stuff like that New Century Labs had all the bundle. Some, they don't have everything, and I just want to kind of, get poked just one time. So I bought the bundle here. New Century Labs, you can just get whatever you want. It's like you go to a shopping cart and you just order LH, and you can just like buy it and go to the lab that is closer to you to get them done. And then you get an email with the results, which, like I'm saying, they show you the normal range of those results. It is important to know that there are some like normal ranges that are not optimal for fertility purposes. So there are some that you want it to be, within the highest, the best that they can be. And maybe the normal range is maybe not enough. So that is something to consider as well. So I did this test, and I do want to give just a small shout out to New Century Labs. I had a situation with them one time that I accidentally pressed twice and ordered twice the same lab work, which was substantially, I don't know, maybe $150 at the time. And I was like kind of frustrated, thinking I was going to have to call them and explain the situation. The thing is that they called me right away and said, hey, we noticed you ordered twice the same thing. Is this a mistake? I was greatly surprised. And I was like, yes, it was a mistake. I didn't mean to order it twice. It's just one. So they immediately fixed that for me. It was so smooth, so good. So I just married them at that minute. I was like, I love them. I'm going to stick to them. So every single time, every month after that, for the next 2-3 months that I did the blood work, I just bought it with New Century Labs. And it was so smooth, so perfect. I could choose the lab that was closer to me. Results were sent to me in a clear, nice way. And I just love it. Once I did that, I realized that everything was okay and I could move forward. But again, the idea of the video is letting you know that you can get the blood work done on your own. Understand your body. Know that if there's something off, you might need to go to a specialist to fix that, because if our hormones are not working right, then it is going to be harder for fertilization to occur and for the egg to stick. That is what we actually want at the end. So I encourage you, if you are on your own, if you don't want to see a doctor, if you're not ready to see a doctor, just get blood done on your own. Check your hormones, make sure that is working right, so that then you can move forward to maybe find if there is another problem or if there's another thing you can do to get pregnant. Thank you for watching. I know this was simple. I know this was straight to the point. If you have questions about it, feel free to ask. I try to answer all the questions that I get. And follow me, and I'll try to post more about what I did in my journey to try to get pregnant. Thank you for watching. Bye.